What up? It's Trent Out Loud, and I'm back with another episode. All right, depending on what time zone you're in, it's Wednesday night, but for some of y'all, it's Thursday morning, which means y'all are only one day away, and we are 2 nights away from Friday. I am very excited for this weekend. I will be in Phoenix, Arizona for 4 days, Monday to Friday, but I'll tell you more about that shortly. Guys, I have a great show set up for you guys. In Behind the Feed and Off the Record, everyone's favorite segment, Joe Budden is going to jail. All right, yes, I do have a new edition of Who's Going to Jail. Also, in lead stories, a Chicago mother is attacked. We also have an update on the parent's profile. It is literally the most viral thing on the internet today. We will tell you everything about it. Singer David is officially a suspect in the Celeste case, and the Senate fast tracks the Epstein files, and it's headed to Donald Trump's desk. Who knows what he's going to do with it, but let's get on with it. In quick news, we're going to talk about Drake, Serena Williams, Jay-Z, Akademiks, 12-hour drive versus a 4-hour flight, Smokey Robinson, Burna Boy, Celina, Powell, Summer Walker, Usher, Bryan-Michael Cox. Is The Beast in Me a good streaming show? Milagro, Megan Thee Stallion, Tory Lanez, and GloRilla. As always, we are going to close out the show with comments of the day, social discussion of the day, and question of the day. Also, for those of you who are like me and you are sick and tired of spam phone calls, emails, and text messages, we're going to tell you about a free trial with Aura that can get rid of all of that with just a couple of clicks. Y'all know what time it is. Turn your TVs, your radio, your devices up. I got a good show for y'all. I'm about to start this show. Let's go. All right, in our first story behind the feed and off the record, Joe Budden reveals intimate details about his life. Okay, Joe Budden is actively out here trying to keep this story under wraps. Him and his legal team have already gotten at Vibe magazine and got them to retract. I heard that they are actively scouring the internet for anybody who's talking about them. But y'all know how we get down here at the Trend Out Loud show in our new segment, Behind the Feed and Off the Record. We are not afraid of anything. We're going to break down and let you guys know everything that is going on, all right? Sit back and relax. Before I start, I just want to give you guys a programming update. Like I said at the top, I am going to be in Phoenix, Arizona, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So just want to give you guys a heads up not to expect your regularly scheduled programming, your everyday show 7 or 8. However, I still will be in touch daily. I'll be doing live, member only, live streams. I'll be putting up videos. They just may be a little bit more sporadic and spread out. We will be giving you some news and some shows and information. It just won't be your regular scheduled program. All right. So that's just a programming update. Now let's get into Joe. Okay. Let's go back to this Vibe article. Okay. They gave an update. I want to show you guys the update, and then I'm going to take you to yesterday, what I found on Instagram, and then Vibe deleted it. Okay. So again, the headline is Joe Budden reveals intimate details about his love life. The 45-year-old has been open about his relationships throughout his career. And then as you scroll down, it says update 105 November the 17th, 2025. Vibe previously published a story regarding Joe Budden's admission to being a voyeur who likes to watch his girlfriend be intimate with other people. However, Budden never explicitly stated that he watched his girlfriends have sex with men in the source clip referred in our initial reporting. The story has been edited for clarity, which means Joe and his legal team got to him, okay? Joe is the new Diddy, and there is an active investigation. Let me go back to yesterday and what I read to you. And like I said, I got this off of Instagram. If you go to Vibe Magazine's Instagram, it's deleted. And they posted, Joe Budden reveals his fetish for watching his girlfriend hook up with other people. And their caption said, Joe Budden has revealed that he's a voyeur and finds pleasure in watching and filming his girlfriend hook up with other men and women. Click in the link for details. That is vanished. That is gone. Now, I'm going to show you the source clip that Vibe magazine was referring to, and you be the judge and you let me know if Joe likes to be a voyeur with other men. What Vibes had to retract. I keep saying Vibes like Vibes Cartel, which Vibe magazine had to retract, okay? Let's go on now to just read the edit before I play the video for you. Joe Budden has revealed his fetish for voyeurism, admitting that he prefers to watch his girlfriend engage in sex activity with other people while he watches or films the encounter. In a resurfaced clip from Pod Wives podcast, Budden and his girlfriend open up about their sex life. Discussing the topic of sex, Joe said that he likes to participate in encounters between himself and others, and he prefers to produce their homemade films, like giving direction. He said, I can participate, but I'm not effing. Okay, he's not engaging in sex. Budden said in his role in the romps, he doesn't want to have sex with anyone in that type of way, his girlfriend says. He's a watcher. When asked if he's a voyeur, Joe and his girlfriend confirmed his fetish, with the former rap star admitting he's also an exhibitionist. I'm a visual guy, Joe chimed in while discussing their sex preferences. Let me just watch. I think there's something about it, and I like watching things on PORN and then seeing if I can make it happen in my own living room. This literally sounds like I'm reading like trial transcripts from the Diddy trial. Like, it's almost verbatim. But let me get back to this. Sharing past experiences of having a dual encounter or three-way encounter on FaceTime, Budden went on to say that he finds satisfaction in watching his girlfriend be unbridled and liberated. I like seeing her pleased or her happy or her being her version of a PORN star, Budden explained. I like that. I like seeing people respond to her instead of me being in the mix. The pair recalled an encounter during a trip to Greece in which Budden attempted to secretly record a man hooking up with his girlfriend, but that his plan seamlessly went awry. He also noted his caution. Wow, sorry about that, guys. There's like an emergency alert. Where was I? His plan seemingly went awry. He also noted his caution in engaging in such activities in the US due to his celebrity, meaning he likes to keep this stuff under wrap. I don't know why he's talking about it on this podcast, but that's his business. Joe Budden has been giving public glimpses into his relationships with women throughout his career, including former girlfriends, blah, 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 and one that he has a 5-year-old son with that was born in 2019. Okay, now, let's go to the clips that Vibe magazine was referring to, and stay tuned. I'm going to tell you why all this is surfacing now, because this podcast was recorded 10 months ago, but there's a reason why it's coming back up. Just like with Diddy, a lot of this stuff happened in 2015, 16, whatever, etc. from when he first met Cassie, and it came up because there was a court case and they brought everything up from the past. I'll tell you about not only that there's people investigating these conversations about other men and if he is sex trafficking, just like what Diddy did. Because as soon as you talk about you're having other people, now the feds and everybody wants to know, hey, are you transporting from state to state? You said this was happening in Greece. You don't like to do it in the US, but what's going on? So people are looking into that. But I'll let you know who is behind the reason for all of this coming up. For those of you who watch the Joe Budden podcast, you're not going to be shocked. But for those of you who don't, you're going to be shocked. But let's just slow down. So let's go to the first clip from Podwives. This is part 2. I think there's 8 parts. Part 2 recorded 10 months ago. Joe uses lube to do things to himself while he's watching girls and girls doing other things. One time, I found lube in his travel bag along with money. This is his girlfriend, by the way. In his travel bag along with money. And then we got into a fight because I was away for a month and a half, and I know he was at the dancing club, and I want to know what the lube was doing in that bag. This is just a precursor to warm you up. Take a listen quickly.
Joe has taken his travel lube with him to get dances and off with other women on his own behind my back. Why the is the lube in the trunk when I put it away and I have not been here for a month and a half? You wasn't getting no dances with me. 2 + 2 was 4.
All right, so note on that, there was a fight, lube, bag. He's at these clubs while she was away. Note the fight part. Again, sounds very much like Cassie, Jane Doe, etc. Then in this next clip, Joe admits to being a PORN director. He likes doing these things. This is his own admission on his own podcast. Take a listen.
I can participate, but I'm not fucking.
He doesn't want to have with anybody like in that type. He's not.
Do you want to?
He's a watcher.
Okay.
A voyeur.
Voyeur, yeah.
Nice.
Well, and an exhibitionist.
Yeah, but
Isn't
he's
that
also
the same
like a
thing?
producer. He likes to give direction as well.
Okay.
So you're
You'd rather
like a-
direct than engage.
100%.
All right, now here is a clip of him saying what he likes seeing. Take a listen.
I like seeing her pleased or her happy or her being her. And I like seeing how people respond to her versus me being in the mix here. Like,
Got it.
yeah.
Okay, now here is what the clip that Vibe magazine was alluding to. And like I said in the beginning, you be the judge because Joe made them retract and say, what? I never said anything about men. Listen carefully to this clip. It's pretty much clear as day. Take a listen.
There's been times where I said, wear something nice and go bag homeboy over there. And I'm just going to stand in the corner and record.
Okay, now here is the part that are getting the authorities interested. Joe goes on to talk about some of these incidences that take place and him getting into a 5-day-long fight with his girl. And again, like I said, if you take out the name Joe Budden and just replace this with Diddy, it literally is a mirror image. Take a listen.
And then there's been times where we tried some shit and then fought for the next 5 days. Because, like, if we're going to do it, I feel like, I'm not speaking for her, I feel like one of the unsaid rules is the person has to be more attracted to her or have a relationship with her and not give a about me. So there's been times where we've tried that, and even as a voyeur, I'm not fulfilled.
Because
it's
of
like,
what? Because they're into you?
No, because they're too into her.
And not into you.
And the goal here is not
the
for
three.
me.
Okay, Joe goes on. This is, all right, 45 minutes, so I'm not going to just keep on playing things with you. The other little highlight thing to mention is maybe 10 or 15 minutes after this conversation, Joe starts talking about a PI investigator that he hired around 3 years ago, and he tells a story about the investigator following his present girlfriend here, the one that was beside him, and she going into a building with a guy, and then the private detective was like, yo, I can't follow her in to the building. That would be illegal. And Joe was yelling at him, being like, yo, what are you talking about? What do you think I'm paying you for? Go in the building. Like, we know what she's doing. She's clearly having SCX with this guy, and it's all blowing up, and it's just part of the story. For those who have never seen Podwives, this is Joe, a couple of his other co-hosts, and his producers and managers, and they're just talking about Podwives, and they're just talking about experiences. And like I think even a Vibe magazine alluded to, Joe has been very open about his relationship with his past girlfriends. He loves going to these type of clubs. He loves these kind of relationships. The shocking thing to me is that they recorded this 10 months ago. I literally went on the YouTube page. It was recorded 10 months ago. So that means it was recorded, what do we know? I mean, this record is January, February. Okay. Now I know the Diddy trial started in May, but why would you record this in February? I get the trial hadn't started yet, but Diddy had already been arrested by this point, and all of these things are out. Why would you say these things and put it on your podcast, Joe? Like, I understand you want clicks and you're trying to start a division and you're doing whatever, but yo, Joe makes a lot of money. Like, Joe has his Patreon. They call Joe the Podfather. Like, he is literally one of the pioneers, definitely in the hip hop realm. So I just, for the life of me, I cannot understand. Like, I understand diversification, but it's nuts. Anyways, it's said and done. I'm sure he regrets it. I've read a couple of things where people are saying that he definitely regrets it. Now, I alluded to a second thing of how this came up and why this is resurfacing. You might be asking, hey, you did this 10 months ago. What's the problem? Joe has, I think, 3 or 4 co-hosts. Melissa Ford, a video vixen from back in the Hype Williams days and et cetera, Thong Song, et cetera. Like, Google Melissa Ford. Now, Melissa Ford is kind of just on her like a downward trajectory. I think she was just a big, maybe like in the early 2000s or whatever. She's kind of been like hanging around or whatever. Joe, I guess, felt, hey, she would be a good person to put on the show. So he hired her to be a co-host, I think maybe a year and maybe 2 years ago, a year and a half ago. And every time I watch a show, Melissa kind of felt like very out of place. Although she's a video vixen, she is very, very intellectual, very well-spoken. Vocabulary is on point. And by the way, Melissa Ford's from Toronto. I know Melissa Ford. I know her people. Good person. Like I said, video vixen, but very, very smart girl. And I always felt the chemistry was just off. Like, Joe's a hip hop star. He's a rapper's rapper. Like, he could like rap, doesn't make commercial. I know his one hit was commercial, but Joe was a rapper, okay? Battle rapper. And the guys on there are like rap dudes. So I don't feel like Melissa ever really fit in. But like I said, her, she's kind of quiet out here for the past couple of years. And I guess she took it as an opportunity to be like, hey, Joe's hot right now. Let me go on. And I guess Joe was like, hey, I want female input. Melissa's a smart girl. She's pretty. But for me, the chemistry never matched. I think it was about 2 months ago. You hear Melissa Ford is no longer on the show. She's replaced with Mona, who love Mona too, by the way. And it has been said that there were some issues on the set with some of the other co-hosts. Now, I'm not going to start going into the co-hosts and the stuff, but there was talks of her being uncomfortable. There is talks of there being some potentially, I'll say alleged on this part, because I don't want to get into Melissa Ford's business, but some, maybe some essaying, maybe some verbal things, maybe some hinting, maybe some uncomfortableness. This is a fact that Melissa said she left for mental health issues in the workplace. And Melissa is allegedly, but is ramping up to bring a suit against Joe Budden. Now, Melissa Ford has her own podcast, which she started while she was on Joe's podcast. If I'm not mistaken, it's called Hot and Bothered. I don't want to get too deep into the weeds, but she just had Charlemagne on her show. And let's say Joe and Charlemagne have a questionable relationship, and now people are like, yo, Charlemagne going on Melissa's show is a strategic move because Joe and Char maybe potential have some issues. Let's just cut that off. I don't want to get into that. Y'all know I don't talk about Char. That's family, that's team member. So just going to leave that alone. Getting back to Melissa and Joe now. Just like Cassie, when there's civil suits first, then potentially some charges after, you tend to start looking back for evidence. You tend to start looking back to make your case. So if Melissa Ford is ramping up to sue the Joe Budden podcast, then you don't have to be too smart to put two and two together and figure out why these clips are now coming back out. And then you don't have to be brilliant either to figure out why Joe Budden's team is contacting Vibe magazine and say, hey, retract that, take that off of Instagram, make an update to this. I never said men. I never said that. Joe is in hot water with this Melissa Ford potential civil suit, allegedly. It's really, really looking very bad out here for Joe Budden. From what I know, there is an open investigation and there is a active working on civil suit. And there might be some more people involved. I think I'm just going to end it there. When I played this for you guys yesterday, you could see how organic this was. I played this yesterday and I was like, super weird. I saw a couple of blogs post about this, then I didn't see it. Then I tried to look for it and I couldn't find it. Then I saw Vibe magazine post it. Then I went back and I couldn't find it. And I was like, what's going on? And I told you guys yesterday, I'm like, something's up. Shout out to one of my most reliable sources yesterday who sent me the Vibe article and left me enough breadcrumbs to find out everything that I just told you. When I tell you guys I have the best sources in the business, I got the best, yo. All right. Just going to leave it there. We do have a few more things, but let's just see how this plays out in the next couple of days. Let's see what Joe and his team does. For now, let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. All right, our first lead story. Full video. Chicago mother attacked while trying to protect her kids. Okay. I am going to handle this situation with care. There are kids involved in this story, so we're going to be very careful of what we show, what we play, and what we say. This story broke literally as we wrapped up yesterday. I wish I could have gotten in yesterday's show. It is all over social media. I'm sure most of you have seen it by now. It's a horrible video, disgusting. What has happened to this mother and her children, or her two kids, it's very hard to watch. It is on our Instagram page if you guys want to check it out, the Trend Out Loud Show. I will maybe play a little intro here for you guys and maybe play some audio. But it's a hard video, and I'm just going to bring the people up to date who are not up to date with this story. And then I'm going to weigh in. I think more right now, the discussion is what to do with the kids and the parents involved. And I have an idea which I think is a little opposite of what a lot of people are saying. So I just want to weigh in. A 33-year-old Chicago woman named Krishanda Hatter and her 9-year-old son were jumped at around 3 p.m. November the 17th, 2025 at Orville T. Bright Elementary School. According to Hatter, she was walking home with her two children, son and daughter. Videos shared on social media show a group of, let's just say, school-aged that were following her and taunting her. Both her mother and son were hospitalized. NBC Chicago reports they were initially listed in serious condition. Okay, now there's a whole list of things that they did, which again, I'm not going to read because of YouTube. I'm trying to not to have this video flagged, but they did a lot. They were on the ground. There was a lot of stuff dragging, and they put hands on her and her son. Okay, according to Hatter and some parents, this is related to bullying. Okay, and this has been happening to her son for the past 2 years. Neighbors and parents are calling for accountability, suggesting this isn't an isolated incident. Some say these group of kids have been acting out like this in the community for a long time. Chicago Public School issued a statement saying that they are horrified by the incident and are coordinating with the mayor's office, Chicago Police, Chicago Housing Authority, and other city agencies to support the family. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson called the behavior unacceptable and called for accountability and said they are working on a full investigation. In the report, Hatter has been said to have sickle cell disease anemia, which has now been proven. She definitely does have sickle cell. And according to a featured article, they said that she was pregnant. However, there are conflicting reports that she is not pregnant. She is not pregnant. I could 99.99% say that for a fact, okay? Her sickle cell is being mentioned in the context of the story because of how it could affect the medical danger of this incident happening to her. Now, I'm going to play, I'll just play a little bit of maybe just the beginning of the video, just her walking. You could see the kids just badgering her a little. We'll start off with that, and then we'll just come back and just play some audio, okay? Take a listen.
Shamar! Come here! What you want, Shamar? Shamar, what you want, Shamar? Shamar, look at that. Look at them ankles. Shamar, look at that.
Okay, let's just keep in mind she looks like that, ankles like that, or whatever because of her sickle cell, okay? You can tell by the way she's walking, she is not 100% healthy. If you go to her Facebook page, you'll see that she was literally just in the hospital last week, if I'm not mistaken. And the doctor says that she has like almost passed away twice and have come back. She has a bunch of medical conditions. She wrote a long post on her Facebook saying that she literally had an out-of-body experience, that she was almost on her way out and decided to come back, okay? Just take into consideration what she was going through a week ago or just 2 weeks ago. She shouldn't have even been outside at this point, but she's taking care of her children. And then you see the amount of kids that are around badgering her and her two kids, okay? Here is a video of her in the hospital. Take a listen.
I'm in the hospital. It's because I have sickle cell anemia. And I've been sick for about 5 weeks now. When I went back to this morning, when I went up to the school and told the school about the police report that I already had, about everything, okay? I stayed at that school for about 10:30. Y'all can't be in meetings every time I come.
So there she's explaining about the fact that she's gone to the school. There's a police report. This is an ongoing thing. Now, the bright side to the story is that Chicago right now is in an uproar. Like, literally the amount of support is unprecedented. They're going to police stations, they're going to the schools, they're going to the parents' houses. Like, the whole community has come together, and it's crazy from what I heard in Chicago right now. Okay, I called some people that are literally like on the ground that I know that live there, and it's just crazy. So that's great to see the community coming out. Y'all know the saying: it takes a village to raise a child, and the community is coming out to make sure these kids are held accountable. There is a video of one mom making her child apologize, which I'm not going to play for you. It's on her Instagram if you want to see it, but I'm choosing not to play that here. Now, I think I brought everybody kind of up to date with this so far. Them being from the age 9 and 12. Oh, sorry. I'm gonna put up the Facebook pictures of the parents. You'll see it here. It says meet the parents. Here's Nicole Collins, etc., etc. Okay. People want the parents held accountable, and I agree. I just want to make sure I put a note to that. Okay, this is what I want to say. Okay. There are some people calling for the kids to be expelled, put in juvie. I've heard some people say they should go to jail for life. Some people are just calling for some pretty bad things to these kids. And their argument is some kids are just so bad that they're just that way and there's no help. Me being a mental health advocate, I do not agree with that. And the ages, to me, are too young to just write them off. Just my opinion. I understand if people have it in a different frame of mind. That's fine. The circumstances that these kids were raised in is a result of these behaviors. Not making excuses for them. I'm not saying they should not be expelled. I'm not saying maybe they shouldn't go to juvie. I'm not saying they shouldn't have some sort of repercussion. Of course, they need to learn. If you ask me, the discipline should come to the parents. That's why I wanted to make sure that I showed you guys those parents' pictures. The discipline and the action should be the parents, and it should be the school. You heard the mom saying she was at the school. They're always in meetings. They're doing whatever. The teachers, the principals, the secretary, anybody who knew about the activity that was going on, those are the people that should be held accountable. And the kids that did this, I think, should be given some grace. Like I said, it takes a village. Those kids should be so afraid of those teachers, so afraid of what would happen, that they wouldn't even fathom doing this. To me, that's the problem. Again, especially maybe like the 12-year-olds or whatever, I'm not saying that they're totally not accountable. And of course, they should learn a lesson, way more than just a detention or whatever. Of course, it just goes without saying. But trying them as adults, putting them away for life and giving up on them, like that is too far for me. To me, it's the parents. And I think what a lot of people are missing is school. Parents bring their kids to school, and you're supposed to entrust the school to be teaching your kids not only lessons, but also manners, and to make them know that this kind of activity is not going to be tolerated at school. Of course, it comes with the parents first, but the school should be held accountable. So, like I said, this is probably one of the biggest things that's happening right now. We're going to hear more in the next coming days of the accountability. There's a lot of people investigating into this, but my take in the past 24 hours of what happened, school, parents, and then the kids. At the end of the day, they're still kids. That's my take. Like I said, if you guys want some more information and some more details, just head on over to our Instagram, The Trent Out Loud Show on IG. Or else, let me know what you think in the comment section below. All right, our second lead story. Singer David reportedly a suspect in investigation of teen girl that was found in the Tesla. Okay, I'm sure you guys remember this. We haven't talked about this in a little while, actually. And last we reported this to you, David was not a suspect. I told you guys that I spoke with some sources at TMZ that they said in the past 20 years of TMZ, the LAPD has not held this much information from them. Nobody knew anything that was going on. I told you what my sources were telling me. Everybody was talking about this. Every sort of internet detective was trying to figure this out. And of course, everybody was looking at David. It was at his house, his car, and it was his girlfriend, allegedly. I'll read you guys the details, and then I'll give you my take on what I think is happening. On Tuesday, November the 18th, TMZ reports that rising R&B star David, whose legal name is David Anthony Burke, is now being considered a suspect in Celeste's unaliving. The outlet says investigators are looking into a trip he allegedly took early this year to a remote area in Santa Barbara County. When asked about the report, the LAPD spokesman said the department could not confirm it, though other outlets have reported similar details. Celeste had been missing from April 2024, and okay, y'all know the story about the Tesla, etc. Police previously said that David was cooperating with investigators, and in September, a search warrant was executed at the residence that he was reportedly renting. This came after Celeste's mother told authorities that her daughter had a boyfriend named David. For now, no charges have been filed against David. Okay, now, whenever we spoke about this, we told you guys that they have camera footage, but there were so many people going in and out of the house, they couldn't figure out what's going on. And even Harvey, the founder, Harvey Levin from TMZ, he said he used to live on that street and he knows that house, it's active. It's going to be hard to investigate. Now, one of the things that I had said to you guys is that my hunch on why they don't want to give any information to TMZ, why they don't want to put anything out there, and why David isn't a suspect is because when you are a suspect and when the police tell you you're a suspect, things change, right? They are able to activate certain things that they can't when you're not a suspect. And I had said, just my theory, that the police were definitely considering him as a suspect, like duh, but they just didn't want to let him know. They wanted to let him just move a little free and be like, hey, I'm cooperating, I'm not watching you, okay? And then you kind of just still watch him in the background, kind of like off the clock unofficially. And then you let him kind of just, fall into, his own trap. When you feel like, hey, they're not looking at me, you start to act and do things differently. That's just my theory. So I'm not surprised for them to come now and officially say, all right, now he is an active suspect. That leads me to believe that whatever they were doing in the background or whatever he was doing in the background while he thought nobody was watching him, they got what they needed and they're like, all right, bro, now you're a suspect. Now it gets them to have the money and the manpower to do what they want to do officially. Hope that makes sense to you guys. That's just a little policing 101. All right. We'll follow up on this, and I hope they can at least bring this incident to a close so that the family and her mom can have some sort of closure. Just a sad case. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below. All right, our third quick story. We're going to touch on this very quickly. The Senate has unanimously agreed to send the bill ordering the release of the Epstein files to President Trump's desk once it's received from the House. Okay, this is the latest. I mean, I think for the past 3 or 4 days now, we've been talking about the Epstein file. I've done a deep dive into things, I think 2 days in a row. So I just want to give myself and you a little bit of a break from Epstein. But I did want to give just a highlight because yesterday, I think I was recording right when the House voted. It was 427-1. I let you guys know that it was going to the Senate. And today now we found out that the Senate has just unanimously passed it, skipping a roll call, skipping a vote. We're done. We're just going to send it to the president's desk. Now, one thing that I just want to take a second to highlight. Yesterday, we told you guys of a literal statement that Mike Johnson, the leader of the House, said before he put the bill to a vote. He said, we at the House, the Republicans, think there's a lot of bad things in this bill. There's this, there's that. He spoke for like half an hour. I told you guys all the points. Our whistleblowers are going to be exposed. The victims will be exposed. The undercover officers, there's a lot of things in here that are bad. Trying to throw every single excuse when it's, you're just trying to hide Trump, Bill Clinton, and, the Republicans. We all know that's who you're really trying to hide. You're not really trying to cover your whistleblowers, okay? Anyways, as he gave his 5 points, his 5 main points why he doesn't think this was good, but he said, he ended up by saying, well, because of all the pressure from all the victims and because of everything, we're going to pass it anyways. But we hope when it gets to the Senate, we hope the Republicans in the Senate will at least stall it and at least vote to take away some things and help us retract some things. But in the House, we're going to pass it. Well, Mike Johnson, you were wrong. The Senate was like, oh, hell no. The House, y'all don't want nothing to do with this. We don't want nothing to do with it either. Done. Unanimous. Please don't even bring it by here. We don't want a roll call. We don't want to vote. Send it to Trump. Yo. What day is it today? Wednesday? Monday it started out, or maybe Sunday it started out with 4 Republicans in the House saying, you think we're going to vote yes? Then 2 got reprimanded to Trump. They were like, we don't care what you say. Boom. Still 4. The next day we woke up, it was 100 Republicans. The next day, it was basically unanimous, 424, everybody in the House except for one, Clay Higgins. And then it went to the Senate and they're all said yes. Crazy work. The rug has been pulled from underneath Donald Trump. Having said that, y'all know Donald Trump. This is the person who made it back to being the president of the United States after January the 6th. I would just like to remind you of that. Remember the things he said about Mike Pence? Remember the things that he said about a lot of people? You want to remember what Mitch McConnell said about him? The backlash he got? You remember all the court cases and the trials and all of these things? Just remember everything that happened around that time. You thought you would never see Donald Trump in any sort of political arena again. You thought you'd see Donald Trump in jail. What happened? Yeah, he won all 7 swing states and won the popular vote, and he's the president of the United States. And he has the House, he has the Senate, and the Supreme Court. I know he said he's going to sign the files, release the files, but don't underestimate Donald Trump. Please. If you think that he is going to sign a bill into law that has a bunch of him and his friends that could literally ruin his life, please. Okay. I did play a clip for you yesterday of Mark Epstein, who is Jeffrey Epstein's brother, saying that he has from very, very reliable sources that the files are in somewhere, I think Wisconsin or something, and they're getting scrubbed. They're getting redacted. They're getting cleaned up. And we are not going to get the full unreleased files. So it's either they're scrubbed, it's either Pam Bondi is going to put herself out on the line and be like, nope, sorry, I'm not doing it. Or it's going to be, oh, there's an active investigation in Bill Clinton. Was he Larry Summers, the Democrat? Guys, I pray the full unredacted Jeffrey Epstein files get released for the victims and for every other disgusting man that has his name in that file. Expose them all. The Democrats, the Republicans, the billionaires, the trillionaires. Expose them all. I don't care. But Donald J. Trump is not to be underestimated. He has a tremendous amount of power, and it's not just his name he is hiding. He is hiding other billionaires and other powerful political people. So just leave you off with that. I said I was going to talk long about it, and I already went on a little bit of a rant. So I'm just going to be quiet for now. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below. All right, this brings us to quick news. Ring my bell. All right, our first quick story. Drake approves Serena Williams' diss on Instagram, picture with sexy red. Drizzy, 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 drizzy. All right, you guys remember yesterday the picture I showed you of sexy red and Drake playing tennis? Let you in a little inside information that I think, or maybe somebody told me this has something to do with a video. This is not just them playing tennis. Regardless, the picture came out, went around social media, and somebody, just a random person, put in a comment section and put Serena Williams upgrade and put 2 fire emojis. And Drake liked it. Now, I told you guys repeatedly that every celebrity has their whole marketing team or key people in the marketing team logged into their Instagram account. And I personally know like 5 or 6 people logged into Drake's account. And just last week, Drake got himself into a little bit of hot water with the debunking the TI thing, remember, on Friday's podcast. And it's been alleged that, that wasn't Drake who did that. And Drake actually fired the person for actually making that comment because it was literally on every single blog. And it's like, why are you rehashing that issue? Now, I actually think this was Drake. Because Drake is active on Instagram, even though he has people logged in, but Drake is active on Instagram. We do know that. I know that for a fact. I think Drake really did like this because Drake is petty and he is so mad about Serena and, my gosh, not like us, Kendrick Lamar. He's still so bothered that he will take any chance he could get to diss Serena Williams, her husband, Kendrick Lamar, or whatever. And this is what irritates me. Drake, can you get over it, bro, man? And this is what scares me about Iceman. I told you guys when this happened, I told you guys this is why I had to leave the Drake fan club in February. It broke my heart because Drake is one of my favorite artists ever of all times. I still listen to his music. But after that Party Next Door album, I was like, yo, what is he doing? And I get the court case and I get he's at the end of his contract. I understand the whole business behind it. But this guy is one of the best hit makers ever of all times. And he's sitting down on his phone being like, haha, Serena Williams, upgrade. Like, Drake, you shouldn't be doing anything but being in the studio and coming out with an album that has 10 number one hits. Like, Drake needs to give us a Thriller. He needs to come out with Michael Jackson's Thriller. Like, top 10, like, he has to come out with the best album ever in his life. He could have gone down to one of the greatest artists ever of all times, and Kendrick Lamar wiped the floor with him. And even if you think Family Matters and Not Like Us, because some people will say Family Matters was still lyrically a better diss track, just the movements he's made after the beef, that's where I'm done with Drake. The movements after the beef, dog. There was people that said even after the beef, the music part was like, yo, I don't feel like Drake lost. But the way how he's been moving after is unacceptable to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm a soldier, man. This is not how we move in battle, son. And anyways, I alluded to this. Ja Rule made the same mistake with him and 50 Cent, and then Ja Rule just couldn't get it out of his mind. The beef. The music he started making was different, and Ja got off of his game, and Ja never came back. And Ja, I'm not saying he was on Drake's level at all, but back in the day, Ja was Ja. He was huge, and 50 took him off his game. And I know there's OVO watching. I know that there's Toronto watching or whatever. Yo, you guys have to get Drake in line and stop doing this online stuff, man. The T.I. thing, no man never did that to me. People just wanted to. You're Drake. What are you doing? And I don't care if that was somebody else on your Instagram, bro. It's still your Instagram. And this Harding, like, stop it, man. Stay offline, stay in the studio, and give us hits. When Iceman drops, it's got to be number one. He has to take over the whole Billboard. Got to be 1 to 10. I'm done. All right, our second quick story. I feel the past couple of days I need to get a bunch of stuff off my chest. Jeez. All right. Jay-Z. Oh, yeah, here we go. Another person that gets on my nerves. Akademiks abandons plans to attend Megan Thee Stallion's hearing. Rock Nation allegedly handing out stealth subpoenas. I don't understand what Jay-Z is doing. Anyways, DJ Akademiks has revealed he decided not to attend the high stakes Megan Thee Stallion and Milagro trial. His reason: the streamer claims that Rock Nation is allegedly serving subpoenas to content creators such as Aiden Ross. The influencer stated that suspicious moves forced him to abandon his plans to report live from Miami. All right, you guys know that I've been talking to you about Milagro and Megan. I actually have it coming up in our 9th quick story. But Aiden, Akademiks, people have told you that Jay-Z is spending a lot of money on this case, and anybody who's involved, anybody who's saying anything, he has no problems taking your phone, doing all of this stuff. Like, it's literally like Trump moves out here. Like, Jay-Z has his own ICE team where it comes to like protecting Megan. Like, I can't understand it. Anyways, here is Ak. You could hear him for yourself. Take a listen.
I'm in Florida. I was going to pop up in court. But after what I seen they did Aiden, nigga, I said, I'm good. They served that nigga with an extra subpoena, took his phone, went through his messages. Yo, Rock Nation on bad timing, man. I'm not trying to be nowhere where Rock Nation and them Secret Service people with an extra subpoena said, boy, I'm getting out of Florida.
For those who are asking me why I haven't gone down to cover the trial, like I said, I have a couple of friends of mine, content creators and YouTubers that are down there. Yeah, now you know why, all right? I've been talking a lot about Rock Nation, and I ain't going down to no courtroom. You ain't catching me out there. Hell no. All right, our third quick story. Okay, this one is fun. I need you all to weigh in. A 12-hour drive versus a 4-hour flight. Okay, this guy's been kind of going viral online a little bit, and he is breaking down the reason why he thinks a 12-hour drive is better than a 4-hour flight. Of course, he breaks down the fact of, okay, you got to leave your house. Most people are half an hour or an hour away from the airport, so it's an hour drive to the airport. You got to get to the airport 2 hours before. Then there's the flight. There's a TSA line. And by the time you get off the flight, by the time you get an Uber or a taxi, you get your bag. And then wherever you're staying, you could be half an hour to an hour away from your destination. So he's like, by the time you get there, it's maybe like 11 or 10 hours. He is saying it's better to drive And it might be an hour, 2 hours more, but you don't have to worry about leg room. You don't have to worry about TSA. You could stop and have full control. Now, y'all know I'm a big traveler, love traveling. I love both. I'm actually torn in here. This could have been like social discussion of the day. Now, I love me a flight. There's nothing more I love. Listen, back in the day, I have something to do with this, but back in the day, I would purposely take multiple connection flights. One time I went to China on a 4-way connection flight. It was like 32 hours. I went from Montreal to Toronto, Toronto to Vancouver, Vancouver to Japan, I think Japan to China, something like that, or maybe Calgary or whatever. There's like 4 stops. Vancouver to China, to Shanghai, and then Shanghai to Guangzhou. There's 4 connections. I was at such peace. My phone was off. I'm just reading, talking to people. Like, I love it. I still even love a connection, but now I got so many things to do. I ain't got time. So whatever. I love a flight, but I also love a drive. And I do think that people forget sometimes in a time manner that, yeah, there is an hour, there's the 2 hours. And also I forgot to mention, he was like, okay, that's if everything goes well, it's 10 hours, but there's delays, there's this, you're on the runway, blah, 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 blah. So I'm still going to say a flight just because I just like being at the airport. I like walking around the airport. I will literally go on a connection flight and just walk around the airport, eat stuff, read a magazine, sit down, be on my phone, I love it. I love it. So I'm still going to say a flight because with my busy life, it kind of just disconnects me, and then it just gives me, room to like sit down and do nothing without having to make an excuse when I'm at home or doing something. I feel like I have to be doing something. But he is right, and there's some instances that a car is better. So I wanted to weigh in. If it is the exact same time, and sometimes it's actually quicker going by your car, what would you rather, take a flight or take a car? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, our 4th quick story. Male worker claims Smokey Robinson tried to have him touch his cucumber. I like that they put that. Touch his cucumber. Y'all know what that really means. Also says the singer used to walk around, in his tighty whities. Okay. Let me get into this, but I'm actually not necessarily like really happy, but literally every day, I keep telling you, there's another civil case. We told you about Jada Pinkett Smith. Every celebrity now, because of what happened to Diddy and, Shannon Sharp, Tyler Perry, every celebrity has a civil case. I could do a show every day with somebody going to jail. I'm telling you, because every civil case now is opening up criminal investigations. Anyways, a male accuser is now stepping forward, claiming that Smokey Robinson took his hand and tried to have him touch his cucumber. This comes on top of 4 Jane Does. Remember, we told you guys this a couple of months ago. 4 Jane Does who are already suing Smokey and his wife earlier this year, all claiming that they were housekeepers and they were faced with SA in the work environment from the couple. Now, 2 more alleged victims want to join the case, including a new John Doe and another Jane Doe. That will be 6. According to the legal document obtained by TMZ, the male accuser says he worked for Robinson at his home starting around 2013. He claims he would be cleaning his cars early in the morning, and on several occasions, Smokey would come outside wearing his tighty whities, allegedly in full view. He says Smokey made some suggestive gestures, comments, and asked him to come into a nearby room. The man says he repeatedly shut down the alleged advances by telling Smokey to put on some clothes, but then things escalated around 2022. After that incident, he says Robinson fired him. A year later, he returned at the request of Smokey's wife and claimed the same behavior started back up again. He says the repeated incident caused humiliation, emotional distress, and fear for his safety. He eventually quit after hearing other employees had similar experiences. The new Jane Doe joined the lawsuit, claiming she also worked as a housekeeper, and says Smokey allegedly did the same things that John Doe has claimed as well. TMZ has reached out, and Smokey Robinson's camp has not said anything at this time. How do you hear things like that as a law enforcement officer and not be like, hey, we got to investigate. You know, like I said, there's people, I always say this every day. There's people who are around these multimillionaires and billionaires, and they're treated like crap. Now, I don't know if what just John Doe or Jane Doe is saying is true, but I know that celebs have a bunch of people around them, and they're so caught up in their day that they're like, get me this water, get me this, and give me this, whatever, blah, 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 that they end up like starting the job being like, oh, I get to work for Smokey Robinson. I get to work for Diddy. I get to work for Jay-Z. But then after a week or 2 weeks, you realize it's a job. I'm cleaning someone's car. I'm cleaning up after somebody. I'm cleaning up all their mess. And these celebs that you see on TV that are like, are all having fun. Behind closed doors, they're not that fun. A lot of them. You hear the saying, don't wish to meet your favorite. This is a saying, like, don't wish to meet your favorite celebrity, because 9 times out of 10, it will ruin it for you, because they're not the person or the persona that they put out. There's a stage person and there's an at-home person. So when me and other content creators are telling you, oh, sources told us this or sources told us that, there are tens and hundreds of sources, because there's so many people around these celebs that are like, ugh, this people is this, and this person came over here, and this person is being sued because their lawyers are all around, and you know, you can't keep everything under wraps. So, and again, like I said, in the past year or so, the new thing is for law enforcement to, it's lazy. They're like, here's a criminal suit. This is easy. I already have people and it's already done, and they could just lay these criminal charges. So we'll see what happens with Smokey. That's 6 people now accusing him of the same incident. We'll see if he pays it off. We'll see about the criminal charges, etc. Till then, let me know what you think in the comment section below. All right, our 5th quick story. Fan responds to viral clip of Burna Boy telling her boyfriend to take her home after he saw her sleeping at his show. All right, the internet is divided. I'm about to weigh in. Let me bring you guys up to speed for those who don't know. In a recent clip, Burna Boy, that has been circling around, Burna Boy is seen stopping his show in Denver to ask a man to take his lady home after noticing her asleep in the audience during his performance. Now, at first, when this first came out, it was all funny, ha ha ha, Burna Boy sent her home. She came out, went on Twitter and said this: I have been mentally, physically, and emotionally drained since my daughter's dad passed away, and I came to his show to put a smile on my face after everything that has happened. He took forever to come out, and I was tired. We paid to be there, and if I want to close my eyes and sleep, I can do that. It's my money that I wasted, not his. And for all of you in the comment section being nasty, how about showing kindness, because you never know what somebody is going through? After seeing some of his supporters defending his decision, she came out and put this on Twitter, and she says that she was removed from the show without a refund. Now, I understand Burna maybe stopping the show, calling out and having a moment. But having security escort somebody out of your show that's sleeping is much. And I'm a big Burna Boy fan. Like, I love Burna, but that is not cool at all. And like she said, I mean, listen, it's easy to play Monday morning quarterback, right? You never know what someone's going through. So it's easy for me to say that. But even if she wasn't going through anything and she was tired, at the end of the day, it's your show. And if she's sleeping at your show, maybe that's on you. You know what I mean? And like I said, if it's not on you and you know you're putting on a good show and she's just tired or whatever, I would, stop and be like, hey, yo, wake your girl up, man. I'm up here working for you, man. Come on, wake her up. And then like maybe bring her on stage and a joke and like have her dance or whatever. But to call her out and then have security escort her out the building, you need to know that she's going through a hard day to sympathize with her. I think that's wrong. I think it's wrong. Totally. Y'all weigh in, man, but that's wrong. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. All right, this brings us to our 6th quick story. Okay, I really don't like getting into girl spats, so I'm going to do this real quickly. Celina Powell and Summer Walker, okay? So Celina Powell, whatever, OF Instagram girl, and the girl who's been with every rapper, that's Celina Powell. She goes on her Instagram feed and says, when y'all crying over the same man, but she can actually sing, and she adds Summer Walker, which is by the way, I'm on Celina Powell's side here. I never thought I'd ever say that, but she literally put that in there. No shade to Summer Walker, nothing. She's just saying when y'all crying over the same ad. I get Summer Walker's like, don't include me into this because of Celina Powell's reputation, but I don't feel like she was like trying to attack Summer Walker. Summer Walker reposts this in her stories and says, laugh out loud, trying to tell y'all these B words, really fans of me. Okay. So then Celina wrote back and said, I used to smash Meech with your songs playing in the background. I never gave an F. I like your music, girl, pop, added Summer Walker. She said, oh, and I had London on the track before you, Rico Reckless, and Meech all before you. So please STFU and just sing. Now, the shut up and dribble, like LeBron comment, the be quiet and just sing. All right, that's when the glove comes off. Like, I get it, but I don't feel like her initial thing was bad. Then Summer, I think, answered back and says, sure I am. Now get back to the... Oh, no, sorry. This is still... Oh, no, I already read that part. Sorry. Then Rico Reckless jumps in and says, I got some top one time and Furnem did too. I don't know who that is. I guess another rapper, Furnem did too. So technically, it didn't count. And I'm married now, so leave me out of this. I don't even know why he jumped in, but whatever. And then Summer Walker goes and exposes text messages that Celina sent her November the 10th. And Celina wrote Summer Walker and said, congrats on your album. I apologize if I ever cause any drama in your life over a loser. I know his sis live with you, but you know that he's a loser. Keep up the good work. So I guess like Summer Walker is, to me, it sounds like Summer Walker is a little bit like upset that maybe Meech and some of the guys that Summer's been with, she maybe thinks that Celina Powell stole them or whatever. If I was Rico and Summer, I just would not have just engaged. Let her say whatever she wants. It just clearly shows that you're bothered. And then now showing that she DM'd you, like, she was playing your song. Celina was literally admitting that she's a fan of yours. Obviously, she's playing her music in your car. And in her first caption, she's like, when y'all are crying over the same man, but one of you can sing. So she's saying you could sing. She's saying that she likes your music and she's listening to it. I get like, hey, don't include me in your mess. But I don't know. I feel like she, what the saying is, a wise man says, when you see two men arguing from a distance, you can't tell who is who, or you can't tell which one's a fool or whatever. Yeah, Summer Walker, just stay out of her way. Just don't reply. That's it. All right, in our seventh quick story, Usher sues longtime music collaborator Bryan-Michael Cox and associates after he loaned them $1.7 million for a business venture and wasn't fully repaid. He now wants $4.9 million in damages. All right, this is a little messy. Usher obviously do not play no games about his coins. The legendary R&B superstar has filed a legal suit against one of his most prominent music producers, Bryan-Michael Cox, along with associates Keith Thompson, Charles Hughes, and entertainment lawyer Allison Horay. According to WSB-TV, Usher says they approached him last year with business plans to open a restaurant called Homage ATL. They proposed to purchase a property in Bankhead, Georgia that was Ocean Prime back in 2015. Usher opted out of being an investor but loaned the squad $1.7 million via a wire to a trust account back in January. In the lawsuit, Usher claims the property was never purchased after months of waiting, so he asked for his loan to be repaid. Now, they gave him the $1 million back in August, but he still has not received the remaining $700,000. In an interesting twist, the lawsuit claims that the entertainment lawyer, Horay, actually admitted it wasn't easy to repay the loan back because it has been used for other purposes. Usher is suing for $4.9 million, apparently $700,000 for each of the 7 claims made in the lawsuit. The star The star Usher and Michael Cox had some of the biggest hits together, like "You Got It Bad," "Burn," "Confessions," "Confessions Part 2." I think everyone's like, oh my gosh, Usher and Bryan-Michael Cox, they're beefing or whatever. I don't think this is a beef between them. I think this is just like a business thing. Like, I understand some people have never done business, like maybe with a friend, which I don't recommend just in general, but they're not family, right? So they've always done business together. So him lending his friend and their associate some money and suing them back is just a legal process. And from what I've heard, Bryan-Michael Cox came out and said, hey, his friendship with Usher is not affected. Like, sometimes you just have to do things for legal purposes. If it was a straight loan just to Bryan-Michael Cox, then I would see like, okay, maybe there's some beef between them two. But because there's a bunch of other guys and Brian is probably like, yo, this entertainment lawyer messed everybody up, Brian is probably in the background like, yeah, sue him. You know what I mean? Because where is the $700,000? So I don't think this is a breakup between Usher and Bryan-Michael Cox. That's just my opinion. And Brian has basically said the same thing. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. All right, our 8th quick story. The Beast in Me on Netflix. All right, you guys know I'm a big streaming fan. I'm an insomniac, so I need shows. And I saw this pop up on my timeline, and people underneath were like, 20 on 10, amazing, must see. So y'all know I trust you guys more than anybody else. Outlouders unite. Because y'all know me very well. So let me know in the comments show, has any of you seen The Beast in Me? Is it good? By the way, I have started All Her Fault, which was something else I asked you guys last week if it was good. A couple of you guys said, yes, you should watch it. I'm just going to give you my take so far. I think I'm on the 3rd episode. It's not bad at all, but sometimes, you know, when something is so hyped up, you're just like, huh? So that's why sometimes I don't like the hype. And I also think, like, I don't know, there's nobody who I identify with, and I don't really identify with the story. Yeah, I don't have kids of my own, but my sister has 4 kids that are like my own children. I have godsons and goddaughters, so I don't know, maybe I'm thinking that's why, but I could still, you know, identify with a parent losing their kid. I don't know. And I never remember Shiv Roy's real name, but Shiv Roy from Succession, the mom with orange hair. I love her. I love her so much. I think she's super hot. I don't know why. I have like a weird thing with her, but I like her. I think she's super hot. I think she's a brilliant actress. I find her acting like a little bit overacting in this, like just a little bit. I hope she doesn't hear this. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like, I don't know, maybe I have to give it a little bit more time, but I like it, but I thought it would be better. Anyways, having said that, what do you guys think about Beast in Me? Let me know in the comment section below. Should I watch that after All Her Fault? All right, in our 9th quick story, blogger Milagro says she's not positive Tory Lanez is innocent and would feel terrible if Megan Thee Stallion's situation happened the way the jury ruled it. All right, as you know, I still think this case is a waste of time, a waste of Jay-Z's money and Megan's money, and they're doing this for nothing. But, I'll still tell you guys all the updates. Milagro isn't 100% team Tory after all. During the ongoing defamation trial stemming from Megan Thee Stallion's lawsuit against blogger Milagro, the media personality took to the stand and admitted she's not positive Tory is innocent, adding that she would feel horrible if the 2020 incident unfolded the way the jury found it to fold. In the court transcripts obtained by legal affair journalist Megan Cuffin, shout out to Megan, Milagro elaborated and said, I know Megan was hurt, and I hate that she was hurt. I truly do. You have to understand from my point of view, I come from a negative area where so many people go to jail. Not everybody is guilty. She went on to explain her perspective, adding, so when a black man was being accused of something and the details were shaky, if a situation presents itself that made it clear 100%, all I could do is bow down and apologize. The jury will determine whether Milagro is responsible for 3 specific accusations: that she defamed Megan by claiming the rapper lied under oath during the Tory trial, intentionally caused emotional distress by alleging by allegedly teaming up with Tory and his father to harass Megan and helping circulate an AI video, PORN video of Megan on a line. Like I said, from the people who I've spoken to that are out there, they feel like the trial is a little bit boring. They feel like it should be wrapped up by Thursday or Friday and just handed over to the jury. Both lawyers are saying it's going to go till next week. We told you guys yesterday, the jury has sent back some questions. They want to know who Tory Lanez is, which is really Tory Lanez. Who's Daystar? Who is SoStar? They feel like everything is confusing and they don't know what's going on, which is good for Milagro and not good for Megan. They still have a couple of days to get everything going. Right now, it seems like it's a little bit skewed to Milagro's side. We shall see the result. I'll let you know when I know more. Till now, let me know who you think, whose side you're on, Megan or Milagro. All right, in our 10th quick story, GloRilla just tweeted out this a few hours ago. She said, I will be doing an R&B album. Bam, 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 bam. Y'all know I'm an R&B head. My first love. Yes, I'm a Jamaican and I love my reggae music. So like, yes, reggae and then like R&B. But for American music, definitely R&B is my favorite, then hip hop. I'm assuming it's going to be more like a collab kind of R&B album where it's kind of like maybe like a Drake and Party Next Door where she has a lot of R&B singers and doing hooks and it's kind of like a little slowed down melodic. I don't know if she'll actually be singing, but y'all know I'm a big GloRilla fan. So whatever Glo is doing, I know it's going to be great. She is a proven hit maker in her short career so far, so I'm excited about this. Let me know what y'all think about Big Glo dropping an R&B album. All right, y'all, this brings us to everyone's favorite segment, social discussion, and my favorite comments of the day. All right, before we get to comments, I have a question for you, very important question. Is your computer, laptop, or cell phone vulnerable to data breaches? Well, let me answer that question for you. Yes, they are if you are not using Aura, the all-in-one digital security platform. Go to my sponsor below, aura.com/trendoutloud to get your 14-day free trial now to see if any of your information has already been exposed. If you're ever wondering how scammers get your cell phone number while your inbox is filled, here is why. There are companies called data brokers, and they sell your data legally, and they do it without your consent, and they make billions of dollars selling it to marketers, scammers, and even stalkers. Let me tell you exactly how it happens. When you enter your information online anywhere, it is stored in the background, and that company has the legal right to take that information and sell it to third, fourth, fifth party marketers in the sense of, we just want to know what Trent likes, what he's doing, so we can know what to send him in his algorithm. During that process, your information can get in the hands of bad actors. And that's how come you get these spam phone calls, text messages, and you're like, I never gave out my number to these people. Aura takes care of that for you. Your information is deleted as soon as it gets in the background of these websites. You can call them up or email them automatically and say, hey, can you take off my information? But it's ridiculous the amount of things that you do online. That is why you need a digital security protection like Aura to make sure that your information is never, never, never sold on the dark web. It is for those reasons why I recommend today's sponsor, Aura, to my family, friends, and out louders. Aura takes care of the hard part for you. Listen, automatically removing your information off of these sites. And the best part is keeping it off. Aura is an all-in-one digital security platform. You may already have a digital security tool, but not having Aura is like locking your front door and keeping your back door open. With Aura, you get alerts if any of your personal information is ever found on the dark web, real-time fraud alerts if your credit card or banking information is ever found, a secure VPN, antivirus, a password manager, and they also have US-based support around-the-clock customer service. Also, in the event that anything should ever go wrong, Aura also includes a $5 million identity theft insurance protection package, meaning that you are covered 100% when you use Aura. It is absolutely free. Second link below or the QR code beside me. Make sure y'all sign up. Okay, Now, let's go do comments. Second day in a row that I don't have a super thanks. My heart hurts a little bit, but it's okay. I know y'all still love me. I'll remind you guys in a minute how to send a super thanks for those of you who don't know. But as we do daily, we read out super thanks, but we also read out comments. We just got a comment from a vlog that I just put up. Okay, we're not going to do the vlogs because that's members only. But here we go. This is the comment section, and we're just going to scroll down and randomly pick. We're going to scroll. Stop right here. Hit that smash button. Jamaica flags. Okay, that's not enough. Here we go. Let's just read out this one that's right underneath. Well, I'll show you guys. The teacher is correct. Challenge any unknown individual without badges on the property. Too many happenings going on in the school. No need for substitute to take out phone filming the teacher. He should have worn his badge and kept it on. Okay, no, this is a government job. Okay, this is, hold on, let me just take a, thank you, Peaches, for telling everybody to hit that like button and the Jamaica flags. Bam, 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 bam. And also thank you for ID4076 for your comment about the teacher. Okay, so that teacher comment, that was episode 264 about the teacher that was in the bathroom and asking a substitute teacher he didn't recognize because it was a staff bathroom. He didn't have his badge on him and he was questioning him. And the internet was divided. Should he be questioning him? Should he not? Now, ID 4076 says the teacher was correct. And I agree that the teacher was correct, 1000%. He doesn't recognize the person, and that's fine. I think, and what I think a lot of people had a problem with is him asking him while he's going number one, while he's at the urinal, like there's no other doors. There's no way for him to escape. You could be in there. You could be like, who is this guy? Let him finish doing his job, wash his hands, and then you wait at the door and say, excuse me, sir, this is a staff-only bathroom. You don't have your badge. Who are you? What are you doing here? And then he could say, oh, I'm a substitute teacher. Then he could show him the badge or take him or whatever, etc. So I don't think the question was the teacher wrong? I think it was the way and how he did it and how he made him feel. And of course, there's racial tones, obviously, because it was a black man that was using the urinal and he felt like, hey, who's the black guy in here? So there's the racial tone underneath it too. So you have to take that in consideration and give the man grace, let him finish doing what he's doing. And then when he comes out, you speak with him. So anyways, regardless, thank you very much for that comment. Now, like I was saying to you guys about super thanks, a lot of people always ask, hey, we really love the show. Do you have a PayPal? Do you have Venmo? The best way, if you would like to give back and support the show, is the thanks button that's underneath every single video that we post. It's beside like the thank, share, like. Sometimes if you're on your phone, you might have to scroll across over remix. The thanks button is right there. You click on that. There's a little dial. You can select whatever amount that you would like to give back to the show. The great thing about it is you could leave the thanks in the comment section. You could replace that with a comment. And the great thing about it is that it's like sending me a text message because I get a notification right away. I'll reply to your comment or leave a reply to the thanks. And if you'd like, I will read out your comment the next day. I love getting them. I love the support. I love getting the comments, reading them out. So come on, guys. At least try to get me one daily super thanks to read out, okay? Here is YouTube explaining it better than I can.
Buy a super thanks by clicking the thanks button under your video. There are multiple price points a viewer can purchase that each have their own special one-time animation. As an added bonus, viewers will get to post a distinct, colorful comment in your video's comment section.
Thanks, YouTube. All right. Also, before we get to social discussion, I want to let you guys know a second way to support the show. You can sign up for the Out Loud membership. With the Out Loud membership, you get loyalty badges, emojis, member-only live stream, member-only videos, early access to new videos, and member shoutouts. Also, you get access to my vlogs. I just put one up literally before I started recording this show. You already seen there's some people commenting on it already. This was my first time. An Out Louder sent me a bunch of voice notes giving me the background on her son and his mental health issues. She knows that I am very experienced and have a lot of help from professionals in the mental health field. So she asked me my advice and if I can help her. We played the voice notes, and now we're asking other Out Louders to comment. The Out Loud membership is a really, really tight community of just great people. So if you like social discussion, you like mental health, you like love, you like relationships, you like people, sign up for the Out Loud memberships. This regular show, of course, we deal with politics, entertainment, etc. But the Out Loud memberships, especially my vlogs, we deal with just everyday things. And sign up today. It's a great way to support the show, and it's a great way to just be involved in the community and become an Out Louder. Something to note, when you get to the membership window, you'll see different levels of membership. I just want to let you guys know it gives you all the same access. We're all on the same level playing field. We just put different amounts there. It's like a tip menu. Different people have asked to say, hey, we don't want to just give this amount. We would like to give more for the month. So that's why we have different like Out Loud, Family, Out Loud, MVP, but you get all the same access. So feel no way to just take the first one. I just want you guys to sign up and be part of the Out Loud community, okay? And once again, thank you, Tiffany, for trusting me. What amazing, difficult story all in the same breath. And you are such a strong woman, and your family and everything that you're going through. I hope I was able to give you good advice. I DM'd you. You DM me back. I saw it. I'm going to reply to you after I finish recording. I hope to continue this conversation and check those comments, because I already saw 2 Out Louders reply to you. And I hope this makes you feel a little bit better, okay? All right, let's go to social discussion of the day. Nearly half of couples get back after a breakup, and 80% experience the same issues that caused the breakup. A study published in the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships examined a growing trend of partners reuniting from former significant others and found that spinning the block is far more common and more predictable than many realize. According to the research, approximately 44% of people eventually return to a previous partner, largely because the relationship feels familiar and emotionally easier to navigate than starting over. Psychologists describe this pull toward the no as a form of comfort bias, where individuals gravitate towards what feels safe or predictable, even when the relationship had clear problems the first time around. But the same study also reveals the downside of these unions. 79% of couples who get back together end up experiencing the same conflicts within 6 months. Research notes that the underlying issue that causes the original breakup rarely disappears without deliberate effort. When the core problems, communication breakdowns, mismatched expectation, trust issues, or incompatible lifestyles aren't addressed, the relationship tends to fall back into a familiar pattern. Okay. I'm not down for spinning the block. I'm not. When a relationship is done, it should be done. We talked about that yesterday. I don't want to know nothing about my exes. I don't want to know how you're doing. Don't talk to me. I don't want to talk to you. Bye. Of course, I don't want nothing bad to happen to you. Well, fine. Done. But I do understand you're dating and you're talking and you're not, and you're just like, I'm saying, like, when it's like you've been together for like 2, 3, 4 years in a relationship and then you decide to break up and you've broken up, that's when I don't want to see you again. But if it's like the beginning, back and forth, kind of touching on data, okay, well, like, we're all grown up, right? So it's like, yes, yes, and no, yes, and no. That I don't have a problem with. And I think the issue why people date on and off, come back, talking, you're together for a while and come back. And then I think the reason why the same issue comes up is because people don't talk. People don't talk. And the article kind of alluded to it, where it's like the issue is not addressed. And look, I'm one person, so there's only so much I can do, but I keep talking about this whenever we talk about relationships or we talk about love. And I keep mentioning the same thing, and I think it really is so underrated. If people would take the time to talk and deep dive and really spend time with each other, I'm not talking about frivolous stuff. Like that stuff is important. Spending time with people or going out or doing stuff or whatever, blah, blah. But I'm talking about spending time and deep diving into each other. You don't understand how good that is for a relationship. When you understand another person and when another person understands you, there's almost no issues because you become one. You know that person's feeling, you know that person's movement, you know what's going on. So when you get into some of these roadblocks with the person that you like and the person likes you, and it's like, all right, this was fun for whatever, 6 months, a year, whatever. Okay, it's not working out. And then you're like, man, yeah, I missed that person. You know, that was fun or whatever. And then you get back with that person. And then you're like, we're just getting back because we missed each other. And I get it. Like, I love being with the same person. Guys that tell you like, oh, I like a bunch of new girls, those aren't real dudes, man. The best thing to do is being with somebody that's familiar. That's the best passionate thing. If you ask me, knowing another person in that way over and over and over, as the years go on, it gets better and better to me. And yes, I've been in long-term relationships, but the only way for it to stop from being the on and off, like what this article is saying, is to take the time and mature up. I don't want to say man up because it's men and women, but take the time to really express to one another how you feel, what's going on in your life, what's going on in your heart, what's going on. And that's why it's so important to be honest, because the things that annoy you or the issues or whatever that you have, everybody has a just reason for doing what they're doing. But because the other person doesn't know, it will annoy you or it will get you upset or it bothers you or whatever. But if the other person doesn't know how you're feeling, of course it could create issues. But if they're in your life and they're wrapped up in your life and they know everything that's going on, you guys are open and you're one, you're going to start feeling the same way. That day where she's feeling anxious because something is going on, you're feeling anxious because you're so looped in. But how am I supposed to know that you're anxious, and how am I supposed to be understanding to what you're going through if you don't tell me? So when you come over and you're anxious, and I don't know what you're anxious for, I don't know if it's an issue between us or whatever, and it's not talked about, and it's just all messed up. So yeah, y'all like go on a rant when it comes about relationships and love. Like, the people are attracted and people love familiarity because we're humans. But I think the reason why these rates are so high is people don't understand quality of time and pouring into each other. And the more you share, the more you give, the more you pour in, and the more the person knows about the other person, I promise you have the most beautiful friggin' relationship ever. That's never been a problem in any of my relationships. Yes, I know I'm the single guy, and I joke and be like, don't listen to me, I'm the single guy. But that's not been my issue. My issue is finding the girl that I feel like, so let's not get into me. Let's just not get into that. But yeah, pour into each other and you'll have long-term relationships. Let me know what you guys think about social discussion in the comment section below. All right, this brings us to question of the day. Name a place that you have been that you will never go back to. Okay, I know this is probably going to be like cities or countries, and I know what people are going to say. Somebody said rock bottom. I knew that. Going back to my old ways. Thank you, Lord. Another person said Turkey. Okay, there's somebody. Turkey? I never know if I wanted to go to Turkey. I think I wanted to. Anyways, that person said they're never going back. Vegas, it's boring there. You know what? Vegas is a place you don't want to go to for a week. I used to have to go there twice a year for my Nike conventions. And I get it. People are like, oh, Vegas, Vegas, Vegas. You have to do Vegas in a weekend. It's not a place to go for a week. But I get what you're saying. Somebody said black folks restaurants? What? A place you've been that you would never go back to? I don't like this person. Another person says labor and delivery. Yo, I feel bad, man. Like, I don't know how women go through it. Gosh. I still do think it's the greatest honor of life, though. I wish I could experience it. Somebody said IKEA. What? People love IKEA. Somebody said my ex-husband, all my exes. That's what I thought this whole thing would be. My past. back and forth to that man, jail, losing myself. I knew this was going to happen. England. Okay. What? I love England. Again, you have to know what you're expecting. You have to know where you're going and what to expect. Somebody says labor and delivery, marriage, USPS, that N-word's house. Atlanta. What? Yo, shout out to ATL, man. Love Atlanta. I'll be back there in April. My old ways, my ex's house, Square One. All right. What's a place that I would go to? Okay, you know what I'm going to tell you? Maybe I said this before. So I used to go to Paris for Men's Fashion Week. I ain't going back to Paris, but I say that with an asterisk. I was going with my buyer. I would go back once again to try it out with a girl. And they joke around saying that, you know, Paris is this romantic place or whatever. And I still didn't even really feel the romance, but I feel like if you went there again for like with a girl and not like I was going there with like buyers, I wanted to party, I wanted to eat, I wanted to, you know what I mean? I wanted it to be like Vegas, and I was just like, anyways, my thing is Paris, but I would not never go back. I would try it one more time. But let me know, regardless, however you want to answer it, if it's an X or this or whatever, or what place, like what city or country would you never go back to? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, y'all, that is it. Thought we had a good show. Just to remind you guys again, we have one more show coming tomorrow, and then we'll be on the road in Phoenix, Arizona. We'll be giving you shows on the road Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. We'll be back here Tuesday. Again, I am committing to doing stuff. I just don't know how and when. It's going to be sporadic. We'll do some members. We'll member only. I'll do some lives. We'll take question and answers. Like, I just want to make it fun, but it will not be disconnecting. I will come and let you guys know. And of course, anything that happens with the Epstein files or anything that's going on, everybody gets arrested, you know, I'm coming back in to let you know. Whoever's going to jail, I'll let you know. But yeah, so just want to let you know that tomorrow you get a regular scheduled show, but then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, we are on the road, and y'all know when I'm on the road, we have fun, all right? Before I let you go, just want to remind you of 3 things. Please, somebody send me a super thanks. Show some love to your favorite YouTuber. It is at the bottom of every single video. Just hit that thanks button. You could scroll. Any amount is welcome. Also, if you'd like to support, please sign up for the Out Loud membership, especially when I'm going on the road. We always have fun things for you, so sign up. First link below. Also, if you are online, which you are if you're watching this, make sure you do not navigate without some protection. The second link below, QR code, sign up for Aura today. It is free for 14 days. Also, before I let you go, I just want to remind you of all the ways to keep up with the Trend Out Loud show. For those of you who like to listen on podcast platforms, we're available on all of them. Just go to any pod site, type in Trend Out Loud, the show will pop up. Do not forget to hit the follow and subscribe button so that you can be notified every time we upload a new show. And as you guys know, we upload daily. By the way, podcast listeners, you're not going to get lives and all of that stuff that we do on YouTube on pods, right? So my podcast listeners, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, please go over to YouTube because we don't take those files. It doesn't work the same way. So we can't put them over on podcast platforms. So my pod listeners, please, please, please go over to YouTube this weekend, okay? Now, for those of you who are like me and you like watching your video, head on, or like watching your show on a video format, head on over to YouTube, type in Trend Out Loud, the show will pop up. When it pops up, 6 things I'm gonna need you to do, please. The first 2 is hit that subscribe and like button, get the algorithming. 3, and most important to me, please try to comment. Please, please, please. You guys are my co-hosts. I do the show with you. I bring topics and conversations. I need you guys to answer me. All right, I look crazy out here. For those of you who don't want to join in on the conversation, I don't want to make you feel pressured, but one thing that you can do is let me know the country or city that you're watching from. Every night before I go to bed, I scroll through and read all the comments, and I love seeing how global the show is. So that is one thing you can do if you do not want to join in on the conversation. If you are really enjoying the show, please try to share it with your family, friends, and loved ones because we are here to grow this channel with super thanks, memberships, sharing. This is the platform that we're trying to grow. So if you like it, please try to share it and spread the word, okay? 5th, sign up for that Out Loud membership. And 6, please hit that thanks button and support your favorite guy on YouTube. For those of you who want to keep up with me outside of the show, I'm available on all social platforms. It's also the same handle, Trend Out Loud. I am the most active on Instagram. And speaking of Instagram, please try to follow our Instagram page, The Trend Out Loud Show. We post most of the videos that we talk about on this show. The thing with YouTube is that you can't always put up full videos, copyright reasons. They have a bunch of restrictions. So we put everything there. It's a good way for you to keep up to date during the day. And then once we post the show, you're a little bit more looped in and it's easier for you to understand what we're talking about. So please, 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 for a full 100%, for a 360-degree comprehension, I don't know, something. To be more looped in, make sure you follow the Instagram page, all right? Guys, thank you so much for kicking with me. I hope this made your night a little bit more enjoyable or entertainable, or your morning, depending on where you're listening. Do not forget to be back here tomorrow, same time, same place. I'll see you soon. Peace. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's your boy, Trend Out Loud. Peace.